Debbie's and Nels, the weekly recap show where we give a Dell to the things that we like and an L to the things that we don't.
I don't feel like I've gone first in a couple of weeks, so I'll just get them out the way.
All right.
All right. Let's get the positive news out the way because I feel like we both have very negative lists this week.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
I'm going to get on to my good. I'm giving a big old dub out to Cam Good, the defensive tackle from UCF. Going to be transferring over to the University of Michigan this week. I have to simultaneously give Donovan Jeter an L for missing the deadline to undeclare from the draft so he can come back to Michigan. Don, and it's like he's been a very frustrating prospect. 4 or 5-star guy, depending on the service. Came in, took a few years to actually get going and make an impact. Last year had a really, really good year. Probably could have taken a next step to actually being, first 3 rounds draftable instead of making a practice squad, which is probably, if he's going to continue playing football, that's probably where he's going to end up. So I'm frustrated for him because all accounts were saying that he was planning on coming back. He just missed the deadline. So very sad.
That's crazy.
But Cam Good definitely looks like he's going to be a good addition, either playing alongside or behind Mozzie Smith, who seemed to put on a little bit of weight. So good news for Michigan football.
I actually want to be mad at that, but it's good that somebody's getting a win in the transfer portal besides fucking Alabama.
Fam, like, y'all just lost to Georgia in the national championship game and got their number 1 wide receiver from last year.
Then they got Utah's tight end and some other crazy ones.
Fam,
like bro,
Nick
stop.
Saban need to retire. Like, just for the sake of the rest of college football, this need to be his last season.
Fucking
for sure.
Stop.
Tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of competing with towns for football that ain't got nothing but football. Because, see, all the people in that town, even the wealthy people, put their energy and time into football. So they can say, yeah, as long as you sign in the class, you're going to get $50,000 a year. Like,
pretty sure at this point, Nick Saban could go on a killing spree and get off scot-free because they love him so much.
No one would care. Yeah, man, Tuscaloosa is a special place for football, for sure. For sure. I'm going to do the toss-up first instead of getting to all the negativity.
All right.
Mike Tyson on a commercial flight, but it looked like it was first class. It was the only 2-seater, so, expensive seat probably. Was getting, harassed, heckled by a fellow passenger who seemed to be very intoxicated, but sobered up very quickly when Mike Tyson gave him those hands. There's like a clip of him getting swole on, and then there's another shot of him with his eye all bloodied up and swole up. It's like, I wouldn't personally jump into a tank with an alligator and not expect to get mauled. It's a common sense thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where my problem arises. Where is y'all's decorum?
Where's the backlash?
Yeah, hold on, man. Hold on. Wait a minute. So, me losing my temper because a man made a joke about my wife and smacking a man on TV, unacceptable. We got to talk about it.
Causes trauma.
Oh
for
my
certain people.
God. It's so big that ESPN has to discuss it. They have to take time away from talking about sports to talk about Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Tyson gets annoyed with the guy on a plane, which is much more common occurrence than being at the Oscars viewed by millions and have your wife's physical appearance be insulted. Much more common experience than that.
Yep.
Mike Tyson got annoyed with a guy on a plane and whooped his ass. They didn't even arrest him.
On a plane.
Which I'm happy that they didn't. I'm glad the marshal didn't pop up and catch the fade. I'm glad that they didn't arrest him when they landed. Sometimes even situations of a physical nature, if you're able to subdue it and the injured party is not looking to press charges, then we move on. That's life. People get beat up. It happens. But what I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around is how we went from being morality kings to saying, oh, well, you should have known better than to do that. How you going to fuck with Mike Tyson? Because I'm going to say right back to you, Chris, you should have known better. How the hell you going to talk about a man's wife? That's what I'm going to say, because that's my understanding. That's how I operate.
I don't know, though. Fucking with Mike Tyson, it's like the 11th commandment, bro. Thou shalt not fuck with Mike Tyson.
I don't care how big and bad you are. Here's my thing. For the people saying that, just because you scared of Mike Tyson don't mean that it was any less wrong for him to do what he did. If Will Smith lost his temper and did something ill-advised, Tyson did the same thing. Why can't Homeboy come out tomorrow and be like, yeah, I won $100 million? Because I was asking him for autographs and talking in his ear? That's not grounds for you to assault me, bro. I didn't assault you. Goading someone into hitting you is not breaking the law. That's not grounds for not being able to press charges for assault. So again, I'm asking y'all, where's the ledge? Where's the line?
Yeah, if one is wrong, the other one's
wrong. What the fuck are y'all talking about? So since you scared of Mike Tyson, he right?
Always.
Will Smith is corny, so we got to hold him accountable. I'm scared of Mike Tyson, so he's cool.
Mike Tyson will kill me with his bare hands, so, you know.
So, yeah, I'm good. Like, man, what? I ain't even going to tell you who did a video on this and found a way not to get all hype and go on a live stream for 2.5 hours like they did against Will Smith. But boy, was the tone so much more subdued and understanding.
Because he didn't want that fade.
Ooh, you niggas' hypocrisy is so blatant. It's nasty.
I'll tell you one thing. We are not making a video going at Mike Tyson's neck. That's for sure.
I don't want no smoke with you, Mike. Hey, look, man, you do what you do, apparently. First L I got is going out to, I believe it's Paramount that made this movie, White Chicks. Apparently, Marlon Wayans was asked recently about potential movies that he would like to do sequels on. I think he talked about Scary Movie 2, Sextuplets, and White Chicks are the 3 movies that he named. He said the one that would probably never happen, though, is White Chicks 2. Apparently, they have been going back to the Wayans Bros trying to get them to do the sequel for quite some time. They made the first movie for about $30 million or so. It's only a slightly higher budget is being offered to make the sequel, around $35-40 million. Mm-hmm. And so the movie that they made all those years ago, 10, 12 years ago, while it's still culturally relevant, it doesn't suit the time. Like, you're going to have to do something else. You're going to have to elevate that content to make it relevant again, to make it funny.
Especially since I'm sure there's going to be people who say something about them being in whiteface.
Well, I don't think that that's going to be that big of a hurdle, because unlike Tropic Thunder, White Chicks has kind of stood the test of time. Tropic Thunder, people acknowledge it is the comedy classic that it is, but they shy away from it because of the sensitivity of the times. White Chicks, because there's no true historical relevancy. I mean, I guess there is a little bit, but towards whitening your skin, like whiteface.
Yeah,
there's not historical relevance there in
the form of entertainment.
Right, I was about to say in the form of entertainment. Yeah, for sure, because you let John Leguizamo tell you, it's a long history. So $35-40 million. Marlon told him to kick rocks because it's not enough to do what we would need to do to make this a good movie again, and so they haven't really budged on it. I implore you, if you want a White Chicks 2, if you want money, get them what they asking for so they can make that movie.
Yeah, I mean that's just simple.
And it because they had an idea for the sequel. They were ready to go, but they haven't gotten the money or the backing to do it. So I'm imploring y'all to give them whatever they need. They seem like they have a concept. Seem like they have a direction to take it to make it more modern. Right, because it would be a bit of a concern if they were just going to run back the 2 characters that they had before. Mm-hmm. But we'll see.
My concern is that at the time I liked Terry Crews.
No, Terry Crews is not going to be in the movie.
Okay,
he wasn't even a significant enough part to make or break the movie. So
I would agree with that, but just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, he's not getting any calls back.
Negro, please.
This is by far the nastiest L I've done in a while. And I actually feel bad. I feel a lot of empathy for this. So you know the Kardashians TV show is back. That fake retirement
The
from
Hulu version.
Yeah, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. They just needed to get out from underneath E to make some more money. So.
And Ryan Seacrest, I think he was like the producer for that.
Was he for the show?
The original one, I think.
He's kind of a dying network.
Yeah.
Like most network television channels are not experiencing a whole lot of growth right now. So. You know, kind of is what it is. Everybody trying to get their internet based, going. But whatever, they're on Hulu now, and the show is going. Cameras are rolling, and they are capturing still the most intimate parts of everyone's life. Anyone who is in the Kardashians' orbit. Saint is playing on his tablet, seemingly unsupervised for a while. When a video ad pops up. A sexually explicit video ad. A video ad featuring a family member. A certain notorious video of a certain notorious family member.
Which low-key spearheaded all this.
Her son got a porno ad on his tablet about you and your sex tape. Now, we started out on this podcast talking about hypocrisy today, so I guess we'll just stay on this line. For all of my boo birds who are calling Kanye deranged and overbearing, I'm talking to you, Cuddy, who have been so supportive of Pete Davidson and Kim's privacy, and Kanye should just back off and let them be together, and blah, 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 even though this entire argument started over what should happen with Kanye's children. Not Cuddy, not fucking Davidson. Kanye's children. And what they should and shouldn't be doing on the internet. Oh, you're overbearing. You're crazy. What's wrong with you? Leave them alone. And you know what's nuts about it is that they shoot months in advance, right? Mm-hmm. And release the episodes. So literally, that shit had already happened.
Yeah.
Before all of this shit with Kanye on. What do you want to bet that Saint had a conversation with his father about what he's seen on his tablet?
I would hope so.
Maybe. I'm putting a whole lot on this maybe because I don't talk to either one of them. I'm not in their life. I have no idea what the fuck is going on with their household. But knowing that this happened, maybe Saint goes home and tells his father what happened, what he saw. Kanye, understandably, loses his fucking shit and then reaches out to Kim about what the kids are doing on the internet. And he's gracious enough not to tell the public why.
That makes perfect sense, actually.
He's gracious enough about your feelings and your reputation to not even explain why he going on this rant about his kids being on the internet. And you know what you're doing? Demonizing them. You're demonizing them. Knowing that all this shit had already went down months in advance.
Yeah.
So he has an absolute valid reason. This is why I've never even thought about taking Pete Davidson's side. Because number one, you're in the middle of some shit that you shouldn't be in the middle of, regardless of your relationship with Kim, period. Mm-hmm. Secondly, you're a fucking bozo. Kanye's talking about what should happen with his kids. You're talking about his relationship with Kim. Nobody gives a fuck that you're fucking that plastic butt. Nobody cares. What he cares about is his children. If he still wanted to fuck that plastic butt, she'd still be at home. They're divorced for a reason, fam. No one cares that you're smashing Kim Kardashian anymore. One of me. Sorry, Jesus. Anyways, it was always about his kids. So it's just kind of crazy to me that now we're seeing that in the show. But you had all this shit to say about why it was okay for them to do this, that, and the third. It's okay for them to stumble on your porn tape. What was he even on where he could have come across that?
Yeah, that is the.
What was he even on?
That is nuts.
Some fucking Reddit?
It's actively being pushed, despite the fact that she seems to be so devastated about it.
No, but and that's the sickest part is that you allowed it to be recorded and put out.
Yeah, no, that's if it's devastating me, I'm editing that out.
Not only
I'm
did you
cutting all that.
traumatize your child, but you recorded it for consumption to sell to people across the world.
And then did multiple press releases on it.
That's the shit he's talking about. That's why he ranting and raving all over the internet, because you won't fucking listen. Nobody else will either. We always ask those questions. What is going to happen when one of her kids sees her sex tape? We saw it play out in fucking real life on a TV show.
Yeah, because that shit gets headlines. And it gets ratings. Which is nasty.
I'm so disappointed in her. I'm so disappointed in her for that. If ever I was going to ask them to cut something out of the fucking episode, that would have been it. Brooklyn Nets are getting my last L of the day because Jesus Christ. Yo.
Yeah, it's looking bad for Brooklyn.
Hey, I was talking to my my manager, John Singleton, this week, devout Boston fan, and he's like, yeah, no, there's no way Kevin Durant's going to go only making 2 shots in a game again. That's not going to happen. I said, absolutely, John. It's definitely not going to happen. He's definitely not going to have a fucking blank man performance again. And then Kyrie's not going to struggle at the same time, John. That's definitely not going to happen, Marcus. But I really like our chances with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They've been playing really good defense for the Celtics. I'm like, look, man, KD and Kyrie, they're going to do it. They're going to do it because they're 2 max players. One of them is supposed to be 1A or 1B or 2 in the world. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I've been told by the pundits. Yep. So, of course, surely 2 years into this project where we've watched every free agent, every valuable free agent in the fucking league go to Brooklyn to try to win this championship, surely y'all not down 3-0 in the first round. I know that's not what I'm looking at. I know that's not. I know it's not. No, it ain't. No, the fuck it ain't. 3-0?
Kevin Durant looking like a shell of his former self already.
Hey, even when the Lakers got beat by the Suns, we won 2 games.
Yep.
We won 2. Y'all about to get swept, boy. Sweepity sweep. A lot of this does have to do with Steve Nash. A lot of this has to do with Steve Nash because when ISO ball was working, everybody loved Steve Nash and he looked like a genius. When ISO ball stops working, mainly in half-court sets in the playoffs, you need sets. You need solid rotations. You need ways to scheme guys open instead of saying, all right, everybody stand on the left side of the court while KD's on the right and let him work. You're not going to win that way. Mm-hmm. More devil's advocate. KD and Kyrie handpicked him. Yep. Y'all picked him. Y'all chose him. Mm-hmm. Out of all of the experienced coaches in the NBA, you wanted the guy who had never held a coaching position in the NBA ever. Ever. Not a single day in his life. And you made sure they elevated that man to head coaching status. Marte, eat shit. Because I told you this is how this shit was going to turn out. We 2 years into it. And voila. I told you. I hope this is the end of super teams. Everybody that's successful in the playoffs right now did it the conventional way. They built through the draft, through free agency. They kept young players. They paid them. They didn't throw their lot in for 2 max free agents and try to finagle a third in there and have a bunch of 1-year vet minimums surrounding them. Like,
the super team is not the team with 2 or 3 stars. It's the team with a lot of depth.
Phoenix, Memphis, Dallas, even
Milwaukee.
Utah, Milwaukee, Miami, and Boston now. Any team that's showing any slight bit of success in the playoffs, even Philly is more of a balanced squad, I say now, because they're deep. Yeah, because they're deep. Yeah. So that's the way of the world, man. It's not going to be no more of this let's buy a team bullshit.
Well, plus, when you focus so much on 2 or 3 guys, those guys end up taking the grunt of the work for 82 games, and then
the team goes as they go. Yeah. So if they're hurt or they're not playing well, then the team is hurt and they're not playing well. And that's too. You need more outlets. You need more ownership on the team right? You need more delegation and responsibility. It's been like this for some years now, man, but it's like every team that LeBron is on, he still has to dominate the ball. He has not moved out of the light the way that he said he was going to. Now, granted, in that, Anthony Davis hasn't taken the reins either. And he has not panned out the way that you would have thought that King's ransom that we paid to get him would have constituted. He has not. He hasn't been on the floor long enough. 2020 was a great season for him. But that's it. That's all he has to hang his hat on. The other 2 seasons he's been here, he's missed more games than he's played.
Yep.
So, yeah. Death of the super team, I'm hoping. But that is it for me.
Let's start off with a dub that I actually wanted to give last week and forgot about. Coachella had Isaiah Rashad perform.
Shout out to him.
In his first appearance, I would think, in public since the incident that he had a few months ago. And it seems like the intro to his performance was like a bunch of clips of people just kind of, for the most part, being supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of being like, don't let this, ruin your career, yada, yada, yada. And then he came out and did a great performance. So it would seem like he's not letting this get him down as much as, what could have been, which is good to see.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully he goes on to continue his career like he should. Again, this isn't really a big thing.
Serious note, yeah, glad he's doing okay. I'm glad he made it through that, and I'm definitely glad that he's able to get back to work. It's a hard hurdle to to overcome when you're depressed. So that I commend him for that, man. That's strength. That's true strength.
Yep.
Funny note, you can just snitch on all the other rap niggas that be out here sucking dick.
It's
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I know you ain't the only one, motherfucker. I know you not.
Probably definitely some other,
I know you ain't the only one, motherfucker. I know you not. You could just get the wilding. Y'all want to know why Boosie act the way he act?
Yo, that would be
Nuts, right?
that.
But it would make all the sense in the world. It would be so cliche if that was what it was.
Yeah, I would agree.
Very cliche.
Plus, Mike Tyson called that out.
What's wrong with you, man? Why you have so much animosity? The gay people. Why don't you like gay people that much? It make you angry? Are you gay? You harbor sexual feelings for men?
Yo, that was nuts. I'm telling you, man. Fear of Mike Tyson, bro. I'm going to give the next and last dub to Kendrick Lamar. Looks like he is going to go ahead and come out of early retirement and release his next album, which is called...
Not early retirement.
Yeah, I know. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Ooh, I like the album title.
It's giving me like a jazzy feeling, almost.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers?
It's giving me like a big band. Yeah.
Have you seen the album cover?
No, there isn't an album cover.
So just off the name, it sounds like jazz?
It sounds like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Not jazz specifically. I'm saying like a...
Okay. Or like the four tops or the 5 heartbeats or something. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now. I'm trying to find the secret meanings. I'm like, okay, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Okay, so Mr. Morale
like
is a nigga who pressed the button and he get everybody going, and the Big Steppers, them the shooters. So he got to be the head shooter. He got to be the head.
Yeah, no, I just got Motown.
Nah, nigga, they call me Mr. Morale.
That's
These the
crazy.
Big Steppers.
It could be. I don't know. With Kendrick, you never fucking know.
Mr. Morale is a hell of a name. That's a good comic book character name, Mr. Morale.
I can see that. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
And the Big Steppers.
And we know Baby Keem is going to be...
It's Baby Keem.
featured at the very least. I don't know if he's going to be heavily featured like he was on that album. But
Yeah, he need to stop cheating for his little cousin. Make him work that circuit too.
Does he? That's his cousin.
Nah, man, make you work that circuit a little bit at least. Shit, the first 5, 6, 7, 8 times I hear Baby Keem should not be Kendrick. No, because now it feels like you there that like by nepotism.
The first time I ever heard of Baby Keem was without Kendrick. So that's me.
Yeah, that's different. I was gonna say that's different for me.
Yeah,
like my introduction to Baby Keem for real was Family Ties.
Yeah, no.
So,
Or,
but prior to there,
Orange
prior to that,
Soda
he
as
was
well.
just the name. He was the nigga who was leaving with Kendrick when he left TDE.
Hell no. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was kind of the perception. I heard a couple songs before that though. So yeah, no, big dub to Kendrick for finally giving us something.
Mm-hmm.
On to my L's. I'm gonna give a quick L. R.I.P. DJ KaySlay, who was having a hell of a bout with, I guess he caught COVID and he was just having a whole bunch of complications with that. Yeah, and it was going on for a while. So unfortunately, like I said, R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
Definitely a hip hop legend. My next L is going to go to Meg the Stallion, a new entry into my L's list this week, but definitely deserving, I would think. She decided to go on Gayle King and discuss what happened between her and Tory, which I thought it was a dying story. I didn't think anybody cared as much until, whatever happens with the court decision. But no, man, she's out here bearing her soul about what happened that fateful night.
I appreciate her doing the interview because I wanted to get one of these Negroes on wax about what happened. We have not been able to hammer out a story between the two of them, all the music they done dropped and the cryptic tweets that we have seen that was leaked. We haven't been able to hammer out a coherent story.
Yeah.
So at very least, regardless of whether or not you're going to believe her or not, somebody is on record telling us exactly what happened, what transpired. Now, I hated that she went on Gayle King. Hated it. Absolutely fucking hated it. Don't like it. Don't want to see it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her agenda that she seems to have. And even if it's not an agenda that she's pushing, she's allowing the network that she's employed by to put her in those positions. And I'm just not with it. I'm tired of Gayle King. The only time we hear an exclusive Gayle King interview is when there's a black man to tear down. And I'm not even really pro-Tory in all of this situation. I think it's nasty that anytime it's time to pump up a woman's story that is going against a black man in certain respect, she's the one that steps in and curtails the story. Mm-hmm. And it's always from a victim's perspective, which you may feel that that's the only perspective that matters. Victims have to be proven to be that.
Except the R. Kelly interview. But that did
she
just as bad.
You know what I mean? Like,
without needing a victim.
You know what? The only thing about the R. Kelly video is that she didn't have to push that one. There was no need to set a narrative or set the stage.
He did it.
R. Kelly did everything that needed to happen. He did it himself.
Yep, I would agree. You didn't need the victim's account in that situation.
Yeah, but the pursuit of Russell Simmons, the Kobe mention to Lisa Leslie in the wake of his death, like, if I was Snoop, I would have left exactly what the fuck I said up. Mm-hmm. Damn that red table talk. If you felt hurt, I apologize to you. Gayle King will never get one from me. So I did not like that she went to Gayle King to do it.
Yeah, she also hasn't answered a few of my questions that I still have about this whole thing. So that's where I am with it.
So, okay. So she was ready to go. She's also not giving life to the whole situation with Kelsey, which I feel like, okay, you trying to be big and not make her popular, and I understand that, but you're leaving out a crucial part of the story. And so now that's where people are going to draw the wedge.
Yeah.
Is in the fact that you did this interview. Well, we haven't seen the whole thing yet. We only seen the clip. Right. But from where she's putting all the emotion, you not mentioning that the guy you was fucking your friend. You have to be honest about that. Now, again, we did not see the whole interview, so I'm sure that they'll get to that. But if we talking about why the situation was so emotional and why you got out of the car, which is the part of the conversation that we saw, I felt like that should have been addressed. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that you just wanted to go home, Megan. That's not nobody shoot.
You know?
Like, if that's the case, then we need to get Tory Lanez off the streets right now because he's deranged.
He's a fucking menace.
If he shot you because you was ready to go home and you got out of the car, there's mental disease there. Yeah, he need help. Like, he need to be in an asylum somewhere.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there's got to be more to it. But she struck first.
Mm-hmm.
She struck first, and I understand Tory Lanez's position being the defendant.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what? No. Tory Lanez gave us a version of his accounts. He just didn't tell us who shot.
Yeah. Yep.
He just never told us who shot. And that was my biggest thing with him, is that he was always willing to talk about it, got on live and talked about it in his music, all this other shit. You never said how she got shot. You're not clearing up the part that's going to get you a charge or make you free, right? Nigga, you not no gang member. You fake tough for real. Like we seen that with the after the Joyner Lucas freestyle, where all the regular rappers was responding and somebody from Canada, man, we already know, bro. We know. Yeah. Stop that.
The reason I've been so sick of this story after a while, we were covering it for a little while, but it just got to a point where it was like things were getting thrown out, but literally the questions that I wanted the answers to never came out.
Yeah, okay.
And it seems to be pertinent information to all.
Why was it so important for you to get out of a parked car in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night and walk away, right? You drove somewhere, obviously, so wherever the fuck you at, you far from your house. Why was it so important for you to drive away? It wasn't just because you was ready to go home and they wasn't. Mm-hmm. Right? I also don't believe that it was just a calm, cool situation and then it led... Like, if he shot you, Meg, you don't have to pepper it up. You don't have to doctor the story, because that's kind of the end all be all. Because regardless of whether or not you was popping off, insulted him,
he shouldn't be shooting.
Said you got the automatic out. There's no excuse for anybody to shoot you, let alone a nigga with a puny gun. You know what I mean? Like there's no excuse for it. So you don't have to doctor the. Oh, I didn't even say anything. I didn't raise my voice. That's not how arguments work. Mm-hmm. It's not how arguments work. And now we know from all three of their accounts, right? Because we've heard Meg talk about the fact that he was fucking Kelsey. We've heard Tory talk about that. We've heard her talk about it. Mm-hmm. All three of y'all confirmed that he was fucking the both of y'all. Mm-hmm. So you sitting up here telling me that you found out that night, but you was in the car not being loud, not saying anything. You don't have to do that. Don't give people an opportunity to say that you lying about everything because you sitting over here trying to embellish about what you said or did. Mm-hmm. It don't matter. You got shot. Yep. You had to go to the hospital. They took the bullet fragments out your foot. There's footage of you walking away with the bleeding foot. None of that can be refuted. You don't have to put all this extra stink on this story with Gayle King, as I'm saying. That feels very calculated and unnecessary.
Yeah. But she wouldn't have to do all that unless there's something else going on.
No. I'm saying the something else is peripheral, because what matters is that she got shot in that car.
Right.
That's the only thing that's key to this case. What she did or said to Tory prior to that, unless she was beating his ass, which neither of them would ever admit.
Right.
She, because he'd have a reason to claim self-defense. He, because he looks like the ultimate weakling.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless she was whooping your ass to the point that you fear for your life, there's no reason for you to shoot the gun. Mm-hmm. Anything outside of that, he loses. So why the extra stink? How did we go from not wanting to get a black man locked up to going on with Gayle King and shedding the puppy dog tears? Which I'm sure this was a traumatic experience. I'm not trying to take that away from her. I'm sure it was. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying there was a lot of extra funk on this interview, and even in just the little clip that we seen that wasn't needed. You in the advantageous position.
That's fuck. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm never going to get the answers I'm looking for until this whole thing is cleared up in court, I guess. So as much as things keep getting poured onto it, I'm just going to have to wait for that, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
1L is going to Pooh Shiesty, who got
5 years, right?
5 years.
Going down like your boy.
Which maybe actually should be a dub, because it seems like jail is a rollout for some of these rappers now.
Man, you ain't never lied, man. You ain't never fucking lied.
It just seems like that's the cool thing.
It almost makes you think
years.
about some shit, right? It almost makes you think about some shit, because with all of these private prison owners and how they already literally curtail people into their pipeline from school systems and juvenile detention centers and overrun state prisons, and It's just a lot of dirty deals going on with these private prisons. It would not fucking surprise me. It's always low sentences. And then the people who do the long bids that's in the game come out different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, or people who went down for something real come out different.
Yeah.
But then you get these young cats, they go do 2-3 years, they get sentenced to 5 years, get out on 2.5 with good behavior.
And then
now the music is flowing. You know what I'm saying? Now the music is thumping. It's like,
And it's just crazy because, we did the video on the fact that the entertainment industry seems to be profitizing off of death.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So now they're also privatizing off of, black men being jailed or dying. That's basically the rollout for a lot of these rappers.
No, I mean, not to say that they're doing it against their will either. I'm saying like, hey, look, man, we can make you a lot of money. You just got to sit down for 2 years. We're going to record all your shit. We're going to get everything together, ready. We're going to have a whole promotion plan for when you get out. Now, how well is that working for Bobby Shmurda? I don't think it's going very well for him.
Well, his album's coming out in a week or two.
Yeah, but the singles that he's put out have not been all that popular.
Yeah, no.
I haven't heard
Shmoney
anything pop.
didn't really take off the way I thought it was going to.
Nothing has popped, and it's also
It's a good song too, though.
Yeah, it's also just a tale of where we're at, and the music.
Mm-hmm.
That what he was doing back in 2016.
You would think that song, whatever song they decide to go with, is Hot Nigga 2.
Yeah.
And nothing's hit that way since he's been released.
Mm-mm.
So we'll see. I don't know. I'll listen to the album, but
for sure. Yeah. I'm not skipping it.
But yeah, no, the whole death or jail rollout now is
a little gross.
It's the rollout for like half the industry. It seems like
it's like either be around for 2 years and have an untimely death. R.I.P. Juice and X and Von and everybody else we done missed. Pop. Yep. God damn it. Every single one of them niggas was under 25. Every single one of them.
Mm-hmm. Or we got to see you go to jail. Bobby Shmurda, Gucci.
Damn.
Pooh Shiesty. It's just how the industry works.
And honestly, I feel like Pooh Shiesty had a better base than Bobby had when he went in.
Yeah, I would agree too. He just
Pooh
had a
Shiesty
really
was definitely
big
more
hit.
popular.
Yeah. Pooh Shiesty actually has like a fan base, it seems like, compared to Bobby just had the biggest hit.
I say Bobby was viral. He was viral. He didn't have an established fan base yet. Pooh Shiesty got a fan base.
And in going to jail, Bobby Shmurda actually kind of gained
his cult following.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other dubs, L's? Any other thoughts?
That's it for me, man. Give us your thoughts on our Dubs and L's this week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe as well. Come back next week for another Dubs and L podcast.
And make sure you check out our playlist for the previous ones. And like the man said, make sure you subscribe because we like to do this every Wednesday.